Today in this session I will speak to you on the topic decision making. What is the significance of decision making, why it is important, and what are the types of decisions, how do we take decision. We'll discuss one by one all these aspects. You know, decision making is an indispensable component in everyone's life, and when it is the case of the teachers, teacher educators and managers in the organization, it becomes more significant. You know, from morning till evening we have to take many decisions, sometimes small decisions and sometimes we are to decide on some big issues. Till we die we have to take decisions, we have to choose between different alternatives, and you know, my dear friends, the decisions which we take makes our personality, because we are known by the decisions we take. So in this session we'll discuss what is decision making and why it is significant and what are the types of decision making. See, the word decision has been derived from the Latin word decidia, which means a cutting away or cutting off, or in a practical sense, when you choose out of desirable alternatives, then it is decision. You know, you have various alternatives before you, and when you have to choose one alternative out of the various alternatives, then it is known simply a decision taken. You can say it is judgment out of needs, goals or means, meaning by out of different goals you choose one goal, out of different means you choose one mean, and out of different needs, various needs, you choose one need which is to be given preference. So whatever you choose out of various alternatives, then it is known your decision, and your personality is known by the decision you take. And I would say, if decision making is a science, judgment is an art, because you are judging and this judgment is an art. So we'll see through this pic, you know, this signboard is showing that right decision and wrong decision. See, if you choose one path, it may take you to the right decision, and the other path may take you on the wrong decision. So here I would remind you the famous poem, that is, the road not make all the difference, meaning by you choose one alternative out of various alternatives, and suppose you come across some problems on that chosen path, then you, on the very moment you feel that, oh, I might have chosen the different path. That is why the poet has written in a beautiful manner that the road not taken made all the difference. So this goes on in everyone's life, but here in this session I'll discuss with you how to choose the things appropriately, so that it affects one's life in a significant manner. You know, the decision making is at the core of planning. It can be carried out individually or by group. In every kind of management, decision making is significant, and if we talk about teachers, they are always involved in decision making, sometimes related to school activities, other time related to students. But you may be a manager, or you may be a school teacher, or you may be a teacher educator. So you have to take many decisions, sometimes small issues, those are of routine kind of decision, and others are policy matters, but you have to decide. So when you decide, when you choose something individually, then it is known as individual decisions, and when you frame a committee and then you select something, you frame some policies, then it is known as group discussions or group decisions. in any kind of task, thinking and deciding is involved in decision making. So when you decide something, when you take some decision, what is involved in that? Thinking and deciding. First you think pros and cons, whether it will be right or it will not be right. So this way thinking process goes on before you take the decision, and you can call it essence of managing, because when you have to manage something, maybe in your classroom, maybe at your home, maybe in your day-to-day life, maybe in your organization, maybe in your company, but you have to decide something. So that decision making or managing something, if this decision making or planning is the essence, because on that basis you move further, and it affects your personality, it affects your growth of the product, or the name of your company, name of your institution, and so on. So what I mean to say, that the planning is very important, and decision making is essence of managing. See, in this pic, a person is standing perplexed, and always one has to decide various issues. Why to go there, why to decide this, when to choose, what to choose, and how to proceed further, and who to consult, and where to go. So one has to deal with why, when, what, how, where, and who. And throughout the life, the individual is perplexed or is in dilemma of these what, how, why, and where, and these decides his or her personality. This is your decision taking power, which helps you to reach at a decision. Decision making is an act of projecting one's own mind upon an opinion or a course of action. Sometimes it is the smallest decision that can change your life forever. In the very beginning, when we start discussion, I spoke to you that sometime you have to take small decision, and others time you have to ponder over on the big issues. But sometime it is your smallest decision which can change your life forever. So it may be a small decision, or it may be a decision on the big issue. One has to decide very rationally. Further, I'll speak to you, do not let your emotions influence your decisions, and decisions must be rational. Some decisions are of routine type, but some are strategic type, which require systematic and scientific analysis. A teacher has to take decisions which affect his or her students' growth and personality. See, sometimes teacher has to decide on small issues, how much homework to be assigned, and which method to be selected for which kind of students, because by now we acknowledge very well that there are individual differences among the students, and around about 35 to 40 students are sitting in a class, and you as a teacher cannot deal every student with the same method. When you have a period of 40 minutes or 35 minutes, so it's very challenging for you as a teacher to deal with the students who are having individual differences. So you have to decide which method will be the best for which student. So it is a sort of decision making on the part of the teacher, because there are the methods of teaching, but the real principle maker is the teacher himself or herself in the classroom, because the teacher has to see which is my target group, and which method or which strategy of teaching, which pedagogy will be suitable for particular target group, for particular student. So teacher has to take many decisions for the students' growth and personality. When any decision is taken, the three aspects like cognition, conation, and affectation are involved. It can be said that decision making is goal oriented. As the decision is taken to reach at a goal, if there are no alternatives to solve a problem, then it cannot be a problem, because in the very beginning I spoke to you that there are different alternatives, and you have to choose one alternative that will be known as your decisions, because existence of alternatives means that you have freedom to choose an alternative which can take you to your purpose, because you have to reach to your destination, you have to fulfill your purpose, and for fulfilling your purpose you have to decide, you have to choose one alternative. It is to be noted that values and philosophy of an individual also matters in decision making. See, it also matters. There are other factors also which I will discuss later on in this session only, that it also matters. The person who is taking decision, maybe regarding the methods, maybe the company's strategies, the values and philosophy of that person who is your head also matters, because those kind of philosophy and values will influence the person who is taking decision, who is sitting at the top. Decision may be judgmental or emotional, as they are not taken always on the basis of rationality. But of course, I am saying that always the decisions are not taken on the basis of rationality, but I personally would advise you, do not let your emotions make your decisions, because when we are in some mood of anger or excited or love, out of those emotions sometimes we may commit blunder, we may make promises which are false, which are not to be fulfilled, and we are sometime we fall in a condition, we make promises or we make strategies which are not practical. So those things will not take its shape, because they are not on the basis of rationality. So decision must be taken on the basis of rationality. Now, after knowing the concept of decision making, I would like to discuss what is the actual significance of decision making. On one side, decision making is important from individual perspective, as it affects the individual's professional success, and on the other side it is important from organizational perspective. Some decisions are there which a single person, individual person is taking, and we call them that these are individual decisions, but some decisions are taken from the perspective of the whole institution or whole organization, and we frame committee, we take others' opinion, and those decisions are known as organizational decisions, because they are taken from the perspective of organization or the institution as a whole. The process of directing and controlling the behavior of members in organization requires decision making. Suppose you are a head of an institution or an organization, so various members are working with you in your organization, in your institution, and you have to deal as a head with the persons who have different attitudes, who have different kind of strategies, who have different kind of behaviors and values, and who are from different background. So you as a head has to consider their philosophy, their background, because when decisions are not taken logically and influenced by our attitudes and values, it may lead to degrade our output. See, in few seconds before I was speaking to you that the decision should not be taken out of emotion, they should be based on rationality. Why? Because when out of emotions our personal values and personal attitude influence our decision and not based on logically, sometime it may on one side degrade your personality, and on the other hand it may lead to degrade our total output, and it may bring a bad name for the institution and for the company. So they must be based on the rationality. A teacher has to take many decisions. If we are talking about teachers, teacher has to decide what should be the best method, why I should choose this method, and where I have to take my students, and what are the pedagogies to be selected. So these are the issues, what, why, where and how, to be decided by a teacher. and planning and decision making is related. Both are related, the planning and the decision making, because planning is essence of it. The determination of objectives, policies, programs and strategies depend on decision making. Suppose we are talking about, for example, only on objectives. So for a particular target group, teacher has to decide what should be the objectives and why this should be the objectives for this group, and from where I can fulfill these objectives and how I can fulfill these objectives. So on any issue, maybe objective, maybe policy, maybe other programs, maybe strategies, teacher has to decide what, why, where and how. And this is very important, this is very challenging for the teacher as a head, for the manager as a head in any organization, in any company. After knowing the concept of decision making and the significance of decision making, I would like to speak to you on the decision making process, how one takes the decision, what kind of process goes on in the mind of the individual and how the person implement that decision making. If we talk about an organization, when a manager takes a decision, it represents organization. You may be head of a school, college, any institution or any organization. When you take some decision, you are representing not your philosophy, your values only, you are representing the whole of the organization. So a decision should be thought of as a means, not an end. It is not an end. Through the decision which you have taken, it is a means to take your institution or organization to take to the heights. Herbert Simon, who is an expert on decision making, has proposed 3 phases of rational decision making. The 3 phases are intelligence, design and choice. In the first phase, problems are identified. When we are talking about, according to Simon, the first phase, that is intelligence. In that category, first of all, one tries to identify what kind of problems I have to face, because when you are to take the decision, you'll see what are the problems I am facing and how to solve these. So first, out of first phase, we see in this intelligence component, one tries to find out or identify the problems. And in the second phase, which is the design, here alternatives are generated. Once you have identified the problems, then the question or the problem before you arises, how to solve these problems which I have identified. So you will try to generate or create the alternatives, and then later on in the third phase, you will choose the alternative. So first you will try to generate the various alternatives. The more the choices, the more or the better will be the result before us, the solution before us, and in the third phase, alternative is chosen. But if the fourth phase is not not taken, then all the 3 are not significant. What is that? That is the complete process will be when implementation phase is added, because if you have find out or identified the problems, you have generated the alternatives, and you have chosen the strategy how to proceed. But if you choose or if you select only in papers and you not give it action, or you do not implement in practical, then there is no use of all this process. So I mean to say, the process of decision making will be completed when you give to it the implementation form, or when you put it in action. Now, when we are talking about process of decision making, see what are the stages we come across when we take decision. First, setting goals and objectives. When we have to take decision, the first stage which comes after identification of the problem, see, setting goals and objectives. We as a head have to decide what should be the goal and objectives, because sometimes the objectives and goal may vary from time to time. And recognition of problem. After setting the goals, we have to see which problem we have to sort out. then we proceed further for active processing, that is important, silent, new. Then we try to search the information, and after that comes the step or stage, that is generating alternative solution, that this will be the good or then the other one, because out of various alternatives we try to select. Then comes the selection, I mean choice of action, and after choice of action, when out of various available alternatives which we have generated, which we have created, when we choose one, then we try to give it implementation or action plan. Then see in this pic how this model is explaining. First we try to identify the problem, and after that we try to analyze the problem, then we develop alternative solutions, and after that we select the best solution, and further we try to convert the decision into action, and then there comes the follow up action. So this way process goes on in identifying the problem, in analyzing the problem, developing alternative solutions, selecting the best solution, then converting, and the follow up action. So the decision making process passes through these stages, passes through these steps. Now after the discussion of process and stage, I would like to discuss with you what are the types of decisions, because we have to sometime take very routine kind of decision, and sometime we have to ponder over on big issues which are very crucial for the output of the company, name of the company, name of the institution, and it is related with the performance of the students and name of the institution. So we will see in brief what are the types of decision. See, first is organizational and personal decisions, then the other kind of decisions are routine and strategic decision, then the other is policy and operating decisions, then comes the programmed and non-programmed decisions, then comes the individual and group decisions. I would like to discuss with you all type of decision in very brief. See, if we talk about organizational and personal decisions, for achieving personal goals, the decision taken are called personal decisions. Sometime we have to take decisions for ourselves. For example, you as an individual is free to choose which stream of disciplines, which subjects you want to study, and you develop your own study habits. Some students are there who want to study in the morning hours, and others are there who prefer to study in the late hours at night. So it is their own personal study habits. So you have to take your own personal decisions when you choose your career, when you select your study hours, and when you select your methods, or you select your own language as a medium. And so it means these kind of decisions are your personal decisions. Or sometime even you are posted in an institution, but from the other teachers you yourself want to choose different method, different pedagogy of teaching, then it is your personal decisions, because the ultimate objective is to increase the performance of the students. So you as a teacher personally can decide that which method you prefer to choose, by which method you want to teach your students, which will according to you increase the performance of the students. So this is known as your personal decisions. But organizational decisions are taken to fulfill the organizational goals. When if you are as a teacher guiding the students about improving the study habits, then you suggest some ways after deciding, and it will be the interest of the institution, then it will be known as organizational decisions. Then if I talk about routine and strategic decisions, sometime I was speaking to you that from morning till evening you have to decide on some general issues, routine issues, and sometime you have to take some big decisions. but you have to decide, you have to choose from various alternatives till you die. So routine decisions are repetitive in nature. For example, every teacher is supposed to inform the school or office if you are on leave. So this is a routine kind of decision, and this is a code of conduct. When you are on leave, you will have to inform your school authorities, your institutional authorities, or in company. So it is a kind of routine decision. Then if I talk about strategic decision, suppose it is routine policy decision, but when you have to organize some function, what should be the suitable date, time, guest and venue, etc., then decision on this issue will be of strategic type, because daily you do not organize the function in your institution. So when you have to organize some seminar or some sports day or some other function for your cultural activities, then in a group, you as a head, you frame the meeting, you frame the committees, and you decide in a group what should be the suitable date for organizing that function, what should be the timing, and who should be invited as a chief guest, and which should be the venue, etc. Then decision on this issue will be of strategic type. So we have seen some decisions are of routine type and others are of strategic type. Then in the next category, we see policy and operating decisions. When we are talking about policy and operating decisions, policy decisions are those decisions which are taken at the higher level. For example, fixing pay scales for teachers, or what should be the minimum qualification for the appointment of teachers at primary level, secondary level or higher level. So these decisions are somewhat of policy matters, and they are decided at upper level. But when we are talking about operating decisions, the decisions taken for the execution of policy are known as operating decision. For example, how to disperse the areas or how to give leave encashment. So we have seen that how the policy decisions are taken, and what do we mean by operating decisions. Then if we talk about programmed and non-programmed decision, unstructured decisions are known as non-programmed decisions. For example, if a child is misbehaving in the class, after knowing about home environment, if it is concluded that the child belongs to a broken house, then the parents can be advised to keep congenial environment at home, so that the child's behavior may not get adverse effect. So here the unusual problems are met for which alternative cannot be decided in advance. So out of this example, if I elaborate this example more, when you come to know that particular student in your class is having problem, and when you make the case study of that child, you come to know that the child is normal, his or her mental level of grasping the things is okay, but he or she belongs to a family where the parents are quarreling or nagging with each other most of the time, and it is affecting the child's health and mental makeup. So you can invite the parents in the school, and you can suggest them to keep the environment congenial, so that it may not affect the progress of your child in a negative manner. But this kind of decision, when is taken, the alternatives for this kind of problem cannot be set in advance. At the spur of the moment, teacher will decide what can be the solution of this problem. And in case of any organization, if the issue is taking action for growth, there may not lie the ready-made solution. The manager has to consider various factors. See, whereas programmed decisions are of routine type and repetitive in nature. For example, when to start a new unit, how much homework to be assigned to the child, such type of policies and rules are established well in advance. For example, the problem relating to promotion of employees is solved by promoting those employees who meet promotion criteria, these decisions are related to internal organizational factors. So we come to know the last one is the individual and group decisions. When in any organization or institution decision is taken by principal or manager alone, then it is known as individual decision. When any committee is framed, then some issue is discussed and decision is taken collectively, then it is group discussion. So by this discussion we come to know that there are the types of decisions, and by the time we are clear that decision making is an indispensable component in one's life, and it is very important if we talk in the life of teacher and the manager in a company. So I hope after listening these significance of decision making process and types, it will be beneficial for every stakeholders and students in particular. So I hope it will be helpful for them. Thank you.